Welcome to Conversations. I'm your host, Mel McKay. In accordance with the shelter-in-place order, we'll be speaking to our guests remotely today. So let's get right to it. Chris Carter, Executive Director of the Livermore Valley Performing Arts Center, is joining us to let us know how people being in self-quarantine has affected the nonprofit arts in Livermore. Thanks so much for joining us, Chris.
Hi, I'm happy to be here. Thank you very much.
So the first question is, how has this quarantine really interfered with your mission of spreading the arts in the Tri-Valley?
Yeah, so we operate the Bankhead Theater in downtown Livermore, the 500-seat theater, and the Bothwell Arts Center. We are a nonprofit organization, and we program about 330 days out of the year, different arts events for the community. So obviously, this has had a big impact on us. We closed officially on March 12th. So we were, as soon as the governor sent out notice that no programs or events with 250 people or more should be happening, that's when we decided to close down. And so since then, we have canceled or postponed at least 50, probably now 60 events. It's pretty fluid. And we do want to do our part. And, you know, the last thing we want is for somebody to come to one of our programs and fall sick because of something that we had. So we really want to be safe and make sure our patrons and the community is safe as well.
Thank you so much for that. We appreciate that. And we've got to be looking out for each other in this time.
Yeah.
So thanks for making that move. How can people support the arts while we are in this shelter in place from the safety of our own homes? How can we continue to support you?
Sure. Well, there's a lot of things you can still do. You know, the theater is closed and the programs are not happening anytime in the immediate future, but we are, a lot of the programs that have canceled, they're being postponed. And so we're sending out weekly updates to our patrons. If you have tickets to something that has in the coming weeks and you see that it's been postponed, your tickets are going to still be valid for the fall when it's rescheduled. And you can also buy tickets for those shows still. So please go ahead and do that. And then if you can't go and you have a ticket, you can always exchange your ticket for something else. You could donate it back to us, which we'll gladly accept, or you can get a refund. So we're offering that as well. And we're also doing that. We have several resident companies that perform at our theaters. So like Livermore Valley Opera, Livermore Amador Symphony, Pacific Chamber Orchestra, and all of their shows are being postponed as well. And so if you donate a ticket back to us, we'll make sure that those proceeds go to help them out at a future performance. So we're trying to support them as well because they're also a nonprofit arts organization and they're getting hit pretty hard. And you could just make a straight donation as well. We've been working really hard to fundraise. Half of our revenue is through contributions anyways. So that part is still working. And we would love for people to continue to give, still be a member. And there's lots of great benefits to becoming a member. And you could do that online at our website at livermorearts.org. Just come and check us out and, still do what you can to support us. Obviously, we're not going to be able to do much the next month or so in the foreseeable future, but we'll be ready to come back online as soon as we get the green light.
We have no doubt. Thank you so much for all you're doing, and thank you for joining us from your home this morning, Chris.
Sure, I'm happy to do so. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you, Chris. Okay, right. So next up, we're talking with Jill Smith from Hope Hospice. She's joining us to tell everyone some of the ways they've discovered to carry out their work with people being in quarantine. Thank you so much for joining us, Jill. How are you?
Thanks for having me, Mel.
Well, before we get started into how life is now in the shelter in place, give us a brief summary of what your mission is at Hope Hospice.
Oh, sure. We are committed to serving patients and their families. We want to give exceptional care and do that with compassion and dignity.
Excellent.
And we're all committed to that.
Surviving this quarantine, how are you able to fulfill your mission with everyone doing a shelter-in-place order?
It's very different now. One of the things that's changed drastically is most of the facilities where our patients live don't want a lot of our staff going in, and that's understandable because we want to keep everybody safe. So currently our social workers, our chaplains, and our volunteers can only make a phone call to provide that kind of exceptional care. It's very different in that regard.
I bet.
We're
It's
also
a whole new world out there.
Yeah, and we're also doing everything we can to keep all of our staff safe. So we're all working out of our homes, and the nurses that are going in, that's a challenging thing for them to endeavor to do, is to face whatever might be out there.
Absolutely. They're definitely on the front lines of it. And we thank all of our medical professionals, especially those that are taking care of a demographic that is such high risk for this terrible disease.
Correct. Yes, that's right. Now,
how can we help you while we're sheltered at home and perhaps we're lucky enough to not have a family member who has to have hospice care? What can we do?
Well, I think it's important to let people know that we are still actively taking care of our patients. So that's important for all of the community to know. We've been looking for N95 masks, gloves, all the things that will keep our nurses safe, because we haven't been able to receive those as easily, because we're sort of on the bottom of the supply chain, a hospice. So the community has really come around and helped us with providing those supplies for us, and that's been really good. We are continuing to provide some of our services through Zoom, and that's one of the things that I've been working on, getting it all ready to roll out with the dementia program, with our family caregiver education series, and as well our bereavement department. They're all involved in, we're doing Zoom. We've created a newsletter so that our over 400 family caregivers out in the community that we've had contact with in the past few years, we're letting them know what we're providing for them. So that could be a helpful endeavor as well from your side of things, is just letting the community know that we're still active and providing these classes, support groups. These are things we still want to do. We don't want to stop with these wonderful programs.
Yeah, absolutely. And need does not diminish just because we need to stay home to keep everyone in the world safe. So are you able to keep your website updated so people can have information of when these classes are taking place?
Absolutely. Our website has been updated. These classes are listed and a person can register for them. Once a person registers, I would receive that information and I will immediately send to them opportunities to go on different websites and train to understand how to use Zoom on their computer, allowing them, when they do come to my classes, they already know the ropes.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jill, for spending some time with us, and stay safe, and thank you again for all you're doing.
Absolutely. Have a beautiful day.
Thank you. You too. We do have to take a short break, but stick around. We'll be back with Lara Calvert from Spectrum Community Services. Welcome back. Lara Calvert is now joining us from Spectrum Community Services to tell us about the programs they provide that can make a world of difference during the shelter-in-place period. Thanks for joining us, Lara.
Thank you for having me back, Mel.
Good to see you again, even remotely.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about what Spectrum's mission is in general before we get into the world of quarantine.
Well, we improve the health and safety of seniors and low-income residents here in Alameda County by enhancing their quality of life and helping them age at home with dignity.
Love that. So what are some of the ways you've found to overcome this massive hurdle that we're all dealing with the shelter-in-place quarantine?
Yes, the shelter in place has definitely altered how we do some things and really just kept us at our basics that we do in helping seniors every day. We're serving hot, nutritious meals each day, and also that very important wellness check. But we're doing it a little bit differently now. We're calling it the knock and step back when we deliver meals to observe those safety protocols of a 6-foot distance.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. So with the Meals on Wheels program, you still have that exact amount of demand that seniors that still need those meals delivered? Are you okay on volunteers, or do you need like an emergency surge of healthy volunteers?
Well, we actually have had a 25% increase in the number of Meals on Wheels recipients right here in the Tri-Valley in the last 2 weeks. So we are seeing our numbers go up, but we have gotten a ton of new volunteer offers to us, and we are bringing on new volunteers as fast as we can. It's been wonderful and heartwarming to see the volunteers and giving nature of everybody in the Tri-Valley. So we have brought on over 18 new volunteers to date. And this is really allowing those of our regular volunteers who are needing to themselves shelter in place and stay home, it's allowing them to have that time off.
Oh, that's good. But I imagine in this scenario, and not knowing exactly how long this is going to be, if someone wants to volunteer, I imagine you would say, yes, yes, please sign up. And how do they sign up to volunteer, Lara?
The best way is through our website, which is spectrumcs.org. And then there's a volunteer button right at the top of the screen. They click on that and then click on Meals on Wheels. There's a short form and a questionnaire that they can fill out, and then we will get in touch with them.
Excellent. And I imagine your requests have surged due to the fact that senior citizens have limited time to shop if they are able to get out and about doing those safety shopping hours. So that must be why your numbers have increased.
That's part of it, but most of the clients on Meals on Wheels, they actually don't have a way to get out of their house on their own. They are homebound. They don't drive anymore. Might not physically be able to do that. So even in a normal time, that is a difficult thing for them to do. So we are absolutely making sure that we are connecting them or providing them with everything that they need to be comfortable in their homes and reduce the number of outings that they possibly could have, and trips, because we don't want them driving in cars with strangers who are outside of their household. And most of these people are living on their own.
Yeah, that makes so much sense. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing. And please stay safe and healthy, Lara.
Thank you. You too.
Well, we do have to take a short break, but we'll be right back with Edie Nehls from Sunflower Hill in Pleasanton. From Sunflower Hill in Pleasanton to tell us how they've overcome some of the challenges they're facing in carrying out their mission while people are in self-quarantine. Thanks for joining us, Edie.
Thank you so much for having me, Mel.
So in this whole world of shelter in place, how difficult has it been for you guys to continue your mission?
You know, it's been a very interesting time for us. So Sunflower Hill is an organization that is dedicated to serving adults with developmental disabilities. And we do that in 2 ways. We are currently developing a residential independent living community for adults with developmental disabilities in Pleasanton, Sunflower Hill at Irby Ranch. And we're really fortunate that that is considered essential business. So with the guidance and supervision of our partners at Huff Construction, construction is progressing really steadily. Where it's been challenging for us is we serve about 175 adults with developmental disabilities each semester with the programs that we offer through our garden program and our stable cafe program. Obviously, we've had to cease those programs, yes, which can be very upsetting and unsettling for people with developmental disabilities to have their daily routine upset in that manner. So our staff, we have an incredible staff of very nurturing and creative individuals, and we've pivoted to offer Sunflower Hill online activities that happen each weekday at noon to begin to establish a routine for our program participants. And we hope that people in the greater community will also enjoy the activities that we've created.
That's such a great idea. Can you give us a quick example of some of the activities that will be able to be completed online?
For sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. So our garden teacher, Abby, has created scavenger hunts. Last Wednesday, she did a scavenger hunt outside where people could look for all sorts of insects and bugs. We also have yoga for all abilities. I'm a certified yoga instructor, so I've been offering floor yoga and chair yoga online, recipes, things along that line.
Excellent. That's a great idea. We all need to learn how to cook if we don't know how. And definitely yoga is such a good thing to get up and stretch when you are stuck in that one place. And I love the scavenger hunt idea. You guys are just awesome.
Thank you. Thanks. It's really fun. The other thing I should mention, Mel,
please.
The other thing that I should mention is our garden program is active all year through, and our garden program participants do everything from germinating the seeds to harvesting. And while they're not there, our staff is in the garden 7 days a week right now, harvesting food and produce. And we're donating 100% of our produce to our 3 partners in the Tri-Valley, Open Heart Kitchen, Culinary Angels, and Tri-Valley Haven, so that we can support the local nonprofits who are supporting those who are vulnerable in our community from a food insecurity standpoint.
Thank you so much. That's wonderful. I love it when the people, you continue to give back and give back. We're going to pay it forward, and we're all going to get through this.
We are.
So where do we go? Where should we send people to find out all these wonderful services that you have available during the shelter in place?
Thank you so much for asking. Please visit us on our website, sunflowerhill.org, or follow us on Facebook or Instagram. We'd love it if you would sign up for our newsletter, and that you'll join us in our activities. It's open for everybody.
Thank you so much, Edie. You stay safe.
Thank you, you too. Stay healthy.
Thank you. We have to take a short break, but we'll be right back with Nathan Brumley from the Livermore Library. Is joining us from the Livermore Library to let us know some of the volunteer opportunities that people can take advantage of during the shelter-in-place period. Thank you so much for joining us, Nathan.
Thank you for having me.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about your mission first before we get into this world of how things have changed for us.
Sure. Thank you. So the mission of the Livermore Public Library, we connect all people with information, education, and inspiring experiences to support personal growth, enhance quality of life, and build community in Livermore.
And how has things changed for you now that the shelter in place is?
Yeah, so the shelter in place has affected us quite a bit. We've obviously closed our doors, and that's really a decision we made to keep everybody safe. Health and safety are our first priority here at the library. So everybody, that goes for everybody who uses the library, including our staff. And that's just because, especially the library gets very busy and it becomes difficult to social distance here. So we have a lot of social interaction going on at the library. And that's just the nature of the business. I mean, community engagement is right there in our mission statement. So if this was a tough decision even before, though, we made, well, I'm bombing that. So even before the social distancing and stay-at-home order came through, we decided to postpone all programming at the library through the end of May. So that's because, we have a lot of people coming to the library for our different programs. We're a stand-in for a lot of things like preschool for some people with our early learning classes. We're a supplemental formal, we offer supplemental programming for formal learning, like with our after-school STEM class. and provide opportunities for adults to come together, like with the.
You've had to move a lot of those services, I imagine, online. Then you've had to transfer from an actual location to offering some of these services, I imagine, remotely.
Yes, exactly. So thankfully, we have quite a bit available online. So this is where our digital library really shines. For instance, people can go and check out ebooks, audiobooks, digital magazines, even get streaming video from our website. We have on-demand one-on-one tutoring, can offer free access to New York Times articles. You can learn a foreign language and even access databases for research, including things like consumer reports. We have a section for small businesses, small business resources, as well as careers and employment. And if somebody doesn't have a card with us, they can actually go to our website right now and get an online card.
Perfect. That's wonderful. I know one of the first things I did was pick a book to start reading with a few friends. So we've already got our book club up and running, and I'm about halfway through our first novel. So reading is so fundamental every single day, but it's definitely a safe, an escape and a safe place to be when we're reading during a shelter in place. So thank you so much for spending your time with us, Nathan.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right, well, Jacquie Williams-Coutright from Alden Lanes joins us now to talk about how people can take advantage of their services during the shelter-in-place order. Thanks for joining us, Jacquie.
Hi, Mel. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, tell us first off about Alden Nursery's basic mission for our community before we get into this whole shelter-in-place world.
Oh, my goodness. Well, to bring absolute beauty to the community. This is the best business in the world because people come here because they want to grow their own food. They want to beautify their surroundings, improve the environment. So it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
I love it. So how has this whole shelter in place affected your daily mission?
Upside down. We're still going for it. We still have the mission, but it's just how we actually execute that mission, and we're going to do it at arm's length. We're going to do it very safely, and we are going to find a way to get our delicious, beautiful, wonderful product to our customers.
That's good. And if people actually have the space to garden, this is definitely a wonderful time to be able to start to grow their own fruits and vegetables. So how can they do that with the shelter in place? Is there a way to order plants online?
So what we're going to do on Friday, April 3rd, from 10 to 4, we're going to invite people to call in their orders for curbside pickup or delivery in Livermore and Pleasanton. And then what we'll do, and people can certainly email us too at info@aldenlane.com. Hopefully on our website probably by Wednesday, hopefully Thursday, we'll actually have like a little order form that you could fill out of the kinds of things that you're looking for, those varieties of tomatoes, the soil conditioner that you want to enrich your soil with, fertilizers, even a rose or a lilac or something beautiful that you'd like to add to your garden.
Absolutely. And we got to have somebody to talk to, and plants love being talked to. So make sure if you don't have any plants at home, you go to Alden Lane Nursery and get you some.
Hooray!
Well, thank you so much for being with us. Stay safe. And it was so nice to hear the birds chirping in the background, Jacquie.
Hooray. Great to see you. Thank you.
Well, that's going to do it for this edition of Conversations. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. If you did, check out our Facebook, facebook.com/TV30, and click that like button. From all of us here at Conversations, I'm Mel McKay. Thanks for joining us.